why does nobody ever talk about the victim of the $350,000 Drake lawsuit settlement? Because if they did, his name would be instantly cleared, because the quote-unquote victim, Layla Lace, was already exposed for lying by the very man who introduced her to Drake. Shocking, right? But it's true. So here's the complete breakdown that the Drake haters don't know or conveniently leave out of the story when they disparage him. Laquana Morris, also known as Layla Lace, did have an intimate encounter with Drake in 2017 during his Boy Meets World tour that brought him to England. She even showed text of them discussing their first meetup, and his lawyers later confirmed as much, so that's not in dispute. However, keep those texts in mind because they also reveal she was lying about the essay. She was just too stupid to know it at the time because she was hurting herself by posting them. She didn't hide these texts that reveal her essay claims were fraudulent because originally she only accused him of getting her pregnant, not SA. In the Instagram rant, she claims he ignored her as soon as he found out that she was expecting a child, and she even doubled down on this in a SiriusXM interview. Drake's attorney, however, claimed she refused to take a paternity test to validate her claims, so here's where the SA claim comes into play. After declining tests, Drake naturally refused her request for money, so according to his attorneys, she went to police. But an email from police was posted in the Yahoo story that reported on her $350,000 settlement claims, and it shows the UK police rejected her request to press charges due to a lack of evidence. Unlike Layla Lace, Drake was successful in the civil courts. According to court records, the lawsuit was settled before trial, with both parties signing an order that, to save time, essentially said that injunctive relief was granted in favor of Drake and against defendant Laquana Morris, who is hereby prohibited from making any statements pledging or insinuating that Drake assaulted her, abandoned her after getting her pregnant, or any other disparaging comments. Despite this fact, Yahoo and many other media outlets still reported her claims, making it appear as if Drake was actually guilty and paid her off to keep her quiet despite her loss in civil court. It was reported in the story that her lawyer began negotiations with Drake's attorney while police were investigating her allegations, and she told the reporter that Drake's team begged that she didn't file a lawsuit and suggested that they all wait until Drake is done with the criminal case to discuss mediation. Then she states that he even offered to sign a tolling agreement. So they did, but here's where her lies start to unravel. Tolling agreements are used to waive the statute of limitations, meaning the accused can't be saved when the statute of limitations would normally make them unable to be prosecuted because the time has expired. So signing a tolling agreement wouldn't make sense because the crime had only occurred the last year in a country without a statute of limitations for SA. And that's probably the smallest hole in her story because the man I mentioned at the beginning who introduced her to Drake, according to her own recounting of the events, must have been working as a double agent, I guess, because after she made the allegations, he posted a private conversation he had with her where she admits she is extorting Drake and the claims are a lie. Of course, she denies this, and I know people can be skeptical about the legitimacy of Photoshop DMs, but to make matters even worse for those who still want to believe Drake is guilty, listen to this. Not only did she and her own lawyer agree to put out the statement that named Drake as the winner of the civil lawsuit accusing her of extortion and defamation, she then tried to have the lawyer representing her punished, claiming he tricked her into signing the agreement. So I looked into her attempt to go after the lawyer. As she told the reporter, she filed a request for investigation, but there was no information in the public records by the New York Attorney Grievance Committee showing that he did anything improper while representing her that would get him punished. So where does this $350,000 settlement proof come from? Nowhere. There's literally nothing that shows she won a $350,000 settlement because, of course, she claims her lawyer wouldn't provide her the settlement paperwork, but the only evidence she actually provides was just a $75,000 check from her lawyers. Now, we can't even be sure it's real as there's no paperwork tying the check to Drake, but if we give her the benefit of the doubt and assume it's true, my best guess is that Drake's attorney knew it would be difficult to win the case against her because a celebrity defamation case is extremely difficult to win. So I think potentially in order to get her to agree to lying and clear Drake's name, they agreed to pay her the money she showed the reporter. And then once she received the money, she probably just went back to her old ways upset. But wait, there's even more. I told you to remember those pictures, right? Well, her own posts when she was only accusing him of getting her pregnant show texts after their meetup where they are discussing having a great time and making future plans essentially. And to make matters even worse, in the Instagram posts where she's blasting Drake for ghosting her, she even expressed that she's going to destroy Drake for this, clearly making it look like she was just out for revenge. All of this tells me it's just a story of a bitter woman who was mad her one-night stand with a rapper didn't turn into a relationship, and she tried to make his life a living hell in return because she couldn't handle the rejection. If you want to learn more about the media misrepresentation regarding Drake and his beef with Kendrick, click the video link at the bottom for Chapter 1 of my 3-part series.